Here we go. Welcome everyone to the Pantheon. I am Ray,
And I'm Evy.
and today we're looking at the Transporter movie. It came out in 2002. It has a runtime of an hour and 32 minutes. This movie is I'll be honest with you, this is the first time I found out who this guy was. I never watched the Guy Ritchie movies beforehand because he was in Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. He did Snatch. He was famous for doing that. But this was the movie that made him an action star doing these movies, playing Frank Martin. According to IMDb, Frank Martin, that's Jason Statham character, who transports packages from unknown clients, is asked to move a package that soon begins moving and complications arise. Now, we don't know what the package is. He doesn't ask what the package is. It could be drugs, it could be guns, it could be people, right? His code of ethics or rule is once it's on his car and it's in transportation, he doesn't look at it, he doesn't open it. It goes from one point to the other point nonstop. That's that. And then guaranteed arrival. That's his deal. So something goes awry and the package gets open. I think it is, if I remember correctly. And the people who are behind the selling of the package because they think he opened it or disobeyed the rules. And he lives by his rules. So that's what the movie is about. What's cool about this is that this guy doesn't look like a person who knows martial arts. Doesn't know his fighting styles is avant-garde. It's different. It's not like a Bruce Lee fighting, but it's believable. It's up there with Krav Maga meets like wushu. So it's a kind of a mixture of different fighting styles, but it's believable. It's hard hitting and it's really fast paced. And the car sequences and the chase sequences is phenomenal. Your thoughts?
Okay. Yeah. So he's got to drive to actually do these. It turns out to be women, and so he finds out like to be women, and he knows that it's not right. So what he does, and he finds out that his dad does that for him and with him. That's what it's about, I think.
The only thing I'll add is that he befriends an inspector who's onto him, or we think he's onto him, or he's getting too close.
Right. Okay.
Right. But they have a kind of a good rapport going on, an unspoken friendship. You know, even though one's a villain and one's a cop, but there's a mutual respect for one another, but it's unspoken. It plays better in the sequel, but it's still a really good formation of characters there. The movie, I enjoyed it. Like I saw it in theaters. It's been a long time. It's been literally 20 years. It's 20 years ago, 2002. So it's been 20 years Statham has been around, and that was his breakthrough role beyond the Guy Ritchie movies. So it tells you he has a box office clout. In terms of his status now, is he more of a star to you now than he was back then?
Yeah, definitely. For me, yeah, because I really did. That's my first movie from the guy. Yeah, it was really good. I like him now. Jason Statham, pretty cool. I want to watch more of his movies now.
Well, you're going to get a chance. We're going to move to Stathamville very soon. Once we get
through,
I call it Stathamville, because once we get through the John Wick train of all this content we'll be going through, we're going to do a bunch of Jason Statham movies, including like Wrath of Man and the Meg. There's also the sequel of the Meg coming out shortly. So the Meg 2, I think he's going to be in that one, and some other films that's all Statham. Also, we're doing the Expendables. We're doing all three of those very soon. Actually, in 2023. So there's a lot of stuff we're still got down the pipe. But like that's way ahead of us to go into. But the other thing I like to mention is that what makes this unique too is that even though this is the first time, like you, I actually recognize this person as a superstar from this movie, is that because he's like bald, kind of Samuel L. Jackson bald, he hasn't aged in 20 years. He looks virtually the same, you know. Same with Jackson. I mean, Jackson's like 75 now, 76 years old in real life. Samuel L. Jackson, because he was 70 Wow. I'm not sure I don't know when he was born, but he's in his mid to late 70s now, you know.
Cool.
And Statham was probably in his mid 30s when he did Transporter. So he's got to be now mid to late 50s, give or take. So, and he looks I mean, he looks a little older, but he looks relatively spry, you know, for a person who's in his late 50s. And Samuel L. Jackson, looking the way he does, he looks awesome. I think not having a head of hair to show your age really works for both these guys. They look really sexy still, you know, like this charismatic. There's an appeal to these guys, and it still works regardless of their age. There's something about them that makes them almost timeless.
Awesome.
So, do you feel the same way, or am I just not? Am I alone on this? Am I on my own little island alone, thinking of this? Jason Statham, Samuel L. Jackson, they've been action stars and heroes, Avengers, MCU, all these films. Well, Statham since 2002, 20 years. Samuel L. Jackson since Nick Fury in 2008 with Iron Man.
Okay.
So
don't tell me anymore. I want to be surprised.
You've seen all these movies?
No, not all of them.
You haven't seen Transporter?
Yeah, those I have, but not all his other movies, though.
But I'm not talking about the other movies.
Oh, that's true. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Like, what is it? Yeah, okay, sure. So I look forward to seeing these films coming along as you and I are going to start to explore these films in the new year. Even though we're still early in the year, but we're going to explore these even further. So on that note, I am Ray.
And I'm Evy. Blessings, man.
And we'll talk to you all later. Take care.